fund manager of the entire EDC Capital, and basically we are here to get some ideas, we are here to get some opinions, and his opinion as well as the professional on what's going on right now in the market, and how we, small and medium investors, can benefit from their products designed for the big market, for the big investors. So Endre, just a little bit about your background. So how you started?
Okay, it's a pleasure to be here. I mean, it's beautiful Budapest and the weather's fantastic. Look, basically I come from a traditional background. In 1986 I was a butcher's apprentice, and then my dad convinced me to join the family business, become a builder. So I worked for a living as a carpenter and joiner up until about 2000. But the problem with that is that if I was sick, I didn't get paid, and I only got paid for working. If I didn't work, I didn't make money. And I thought, well, there must be a better way. So that led me to look at investing, and it all just sort of basically spiraled from there. I wrote a book on investing back in 2002 that went to bestseller, which basically means more than 5,000 in print. I set up my own brokerage firm out in Vanuatu in the South Pacific, and we specialised in emerging markets, and we did quite well for a lot of clients during that time too. Actually, some of my best success stories are clients that put in 100,000 US, and we turned into $1 million within 4 years in Russia. The problem was they didn't take it out when they should have, and then the economy sort of basically came back and they gave back most of that money. So we've always been looking at newer and better ways to make money that's safer, more consistent, more reliable, and that don't take massive time frames, because most people don't have a long time frame for investment. We live in this instant gratification society and everyone wants to show me the money now. And to some extent it's possible, but there is still some patience involved with that.
So basically, what motivated you to start to get involved with the Forex industry?
Well, Forex was just a byproduct of everything else I did. I said, from the emerging markets and seeing the global recession, or basically the first part, or what's the entree to what's going to come, that made me look outside for different methods of investing. And then we started our own funds, which weren't connected to the market, but have done very well. And we've won a few awards for that as Best Fixed Income Fund Manager. I think we've got 3 awards in the last few years for that.
How you felt when you got the award?
It was kind of cool. We were interviewed at the London Stock Exchange and got a lot of recognition for what we do. But from there it led me to the Forex. I got involved as a byproduct because I was introduced by somebody else who told me we could make these great returns. And then I went into their fund and I wasn't making the money. So then they came in and said, look, can I help them build it up from there? So that's what we've done. We've come in now. It's taken a bit longer than we wanted, but basically making a more safer, more secure type product that has real investment returns. Now, the thing I like about Forex is that you can see the account at all times. Like, we can see the money's there. If I give my money to a fund manager, if I give my money to something else, well then I've got to rely on audited statements. I've got to see where it's at all the time. And I don't know for sure how good the auditor is. I mean, look at Enron, look at everything else that's happened over the years. So that gets kind of scary. I mean, look at Bernie Madoff, what he did, just fictitious figures. At least with the FX, we can see the statements, the accounts are real. We can prove it at any time that we need to.
Exactly.
And it's better than property investing, because if I've got a house that needs some money, I can't sell a bedroom, right? It doesn't work. But with the FX, I can sell a portion of my investment and liquidate basically instantly and have that money in my hand.
So that's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. And the FX market's a $5 trillion a day market. It is just ridiculous how big it is. You know, and it's the most liquid market in the world, and it's the most uncorrupted market in the world, because it's very hard, realistically, to manipulate currencies on the long term.
So there is basically no chance for anybody to manipulate this type of market?
Not long term. Short term, there's always what they call the fat finger, where someone can place large trades that can manipulate the market, but generally no.
Wow. And why robots? Why you went to the robots?
Okay, because people are people. You know, if I've had a fight with my girlfriend, I'm thinking about her and everything else, not how to execute the best trade for my clients. You know, if my kid's been crying all night and kept me up all night, well, I'm thinking about that I didn't sleep. I'm not thinking about anything else. And then on top of that, I need to be able to react instantly, and then I need to be able to do it without fear, and I need to follow my rules, and I need to not second guess myself. You cannot do that as a person. And you can't juggle 5 or 10 trades at the same time. I mean, one of the trades methodologies we use is only open for 28 seconds. I mean, I couldn't do that. There's not much I could do in 28 seconds. It's definitely not manage a trade and set stops and everything else. So it's the automated part, which is, one, it trades 5 days a week, 24 hours a day. 2, there's no emotion involved, and 3, it's always working at its peak performance level.
So people can feel more safer that way?
Yes and no. I mean, robots have their limitations because there's sometimes that a trader will see something, excuse me, that the robot doesn't know, and the robot says, well, this rule says do this and this, but a trader wouldn't. But the trade-off to that is over the long term, with a properly constructed robot, yes, definitely, it's much better.
So over these years, you just was improving basically this robot experience?
Yeah, we came up with different concepts, different ideas, and then we kept going from there. Oh, look, I read one investment book every week at least. I'm always on the forums, I'm always looking at different things. Our team is a very varied team. We've just welcomed on board a currency programmer who for the last 8 years has just built and programmed currency robots to make our strategies faster, better, more robust. Excuse me. On top of that, we've got a veteran on the team, Bill, who's got 12 years of currency trading experience. And he's absolutely fantastic. You've got the other guys as well. Our tech team in Israel is fantastic. Our legal in Hong Kong. So we're basically a diversified team which bring different ideas and different concepts to the table. Generally, I'm the ideas guy who says, look, try this, do this. The other guys code it, and then Bill says, no, this won't work because of this historically, and we go from there. Building something that's totally unique. And always looking at how can we take more risk out of the equation for you. I mean, the bottom line is, for me, I'd rather have return on investment than return of, basically the return of my money instead of the return on my money. The return is secondary. First, let me know I can sleep at night and the money I give you I can get back. Second, let's see it grow. You know, but no bullshit, let's just grow it in a way that's safe, secure and real.
So basically we need to take a look at and consider and manipulate these two factors, the risk and the profits.
Okay, look, quick history lesson. Over the last 100 years, the long-term market averages of the large caps is 9% a year. Right? That's it. Most investors are happy if they can get 7% annualized. Right? 7% a year. Okay? You know, and I just saw a study recently that said that over the last 20 years, the average investor has done a little bit better than 3.2% a year. Even one of the world's greatest managed funds did 36% a year for 10 years straight. Okay? But when they did an audit, and they were audited to see how their clients made money, most clients didn't make any money. And the reason they didn't make money is because we're people. We pull out when it goes down, and we rush in when it goes up. So they had a good month, and they get flooded with all these new clients. That have a bad month, everyone will pull out. So, you know, historically, investing hasn't really given the great returns. Unless you've got the time, you know, time span of a sea turtle. If you've got 80 years or 150 years, you may do okay. But that's outside most of the KulClub members' time frame, I'd say, for investments.
So right now we are coming to the part that you have got a very diversified team with diversified backgrounds and all working together in the common goal. So current position, where are you right now and where are you planning to be in the next 5 years, for example?
Well, what we'd like to do is build every month on consistent returns, consistent returns, consistent returns, and if we do have a negative month, to be in a position where we can bring that back relatively quickly. Excuse me, we don't need to be the absolute best at what we do. The bottom line is most people aren't very good anyway, so being just great is enough to set you apart. But the reality is we want to be there for the long term. We want to see our clients make money consistently, predictably. We want them to be able to sleep at night and not worry what's happening. I mean, I read a report yesterday that there's a 65% chance that next year the world will enter another global recession. And my opinion is if we enter something like that again, it's going to be far worse than what we had in 2007. So, you know, I'm talking 40, 50% more drops in the stock market, which is awesome for me because the currency volatility is going to be huge. And I'm a fan of the US dollar, and most people don't like the US dollar, but I like to trade that against most other currencies. And the thing you need to understand about the US dollar is it's the absolute worst currency in the world, except for every other one. That's the bottom line. It's, you know, so the US dollar is the one you want to be in. Most debts are settled in US dollars. I mean, the euro's a bunch of guys rearranging furniture on the Titanic. That's all they're doing. It's basically just moving stuff around, you know, hoping they got time before the whole thing sinks. And the yen is no good really either because it's the most aged population in the world and the most indebted nation in the world. So you really don't want to be holding their currency either over the long term. So for the next few years we like the US dollar, and I think it made about 23% gains over the last financial crisis against most other currencies. So could you imagine leveraging that, how much money you could potentially make? Yeah.
So we have got right now a concept that picks up the products that we have and then doing the adaptation of this product to the small and medium investors. because this is our market. Of course, your market is a big market of the big investors. So you are working on this market, and we are focusing on the other market of the small and medium investors. What do you think about the idea of the KulClub concept that is basically doing that equation of this product designed for the big investors to the small and medium investors?
I think it's actually a great synergy because it allows the smaller investors to participate in something they may not otherwise have the ability to be in. It also lets them get in at a comfortable level where they can risk what they can afford to lose. I'm not saying they should. Excuse me. I'm not saying they should, but I'm saying, you never invest unless you're prepared to lose that money. And also investing is like a marathon, it's not a sprint, so it's slow and steady, slow and steady. So it allows them to get comfortable, see the results, see that it's real, and bring it back if they want to do whatever they want to do with it, and then if they want to grow from there, they can. And then that builds on to giving them more options in life. They can send their kids to a better school, they can have a better holiday, they can potentially have a nicer home. It just gives them freedom to do things that they wouldn't otherwise have access to.
So you think with the products of the BTC Capital, right, and this concept of KulClub, that is doing the integration of their product to the small and medium investor, you think we might create a new generation of the network basically network marketing, right, where people can have both passive income and active income together?
Well, that's the beauty of it, because they can have their active income, they can have their jobs and go to work and earn their money and do what they love, or better still, if they don't like their job, they can leave it and do something they love to do. But on the side, on top of that, they've also got money coming in on a regular basis, or at least their investment's growing in value. So yeah, it's a really good meshing together of the two concepts.
Wow, great. So we are going to work toward that direction. Just to finish everything, right? This interview, which was really great. What would be the wishes that you have got for all the KulClub members worldwide?
Oh, the only wish I can say is basically wishing them every success in what they do, and be happy in what they're doing, focus on the positives they've got in their lives, and enjoy what they're doing, and hopefully with what we're doing we can put a lot of their wealth creation on autopilot.
Okay. So thank you everyone for being here with us, and we are going to do another interviews later on that are going to match your expectations later on as well. So thank you everyone, and thank you Endre for the interview.
You're welcome.